audience, it's totally fine to like look at it. Like at the beginning I do.
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of chat with you guys. So hey, everybody, welcome to the Nexus. Sorry, we were still chatting. This is where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. And today I have some really awesome guests here today. I have Josh Nix and Rhea Barfield with Good Life Lending. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, Josh and I have known each other for a long time, back from when I started investing in real estate, and your whole world has changed a ton since I first met you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the Good Life Lending.
Yeah, so I've been a real estate entrepreneur for like 15 years or so, starting as a landlord and then kind of worked my way up. And now we have Good Life Lending, and it's a private lending company where we help other investors fund their real estate projects. So it's been really fun to get to work with other people and get to be part of their project. So
yeah, you kind of have been living the real estate dream, from starting with like single family houses and flipping them and kind of working your way up the ladder to now going in on some bigger investments and doing all the things. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey. And so Rhea's been part of it for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So she started out helping us lease properties. And so
okay.
That was a very part-time thing. And
Uh-huh.
then slowly as we started Good Life Lending, she came on board like a year ago full-time. So she helps me out with that piece of the business. So
Yeah, so tell us about you, Rhea. Where are you from? Lincoln?
I lived here for a really long time. So
Yeah.
From Denver, but yeah, Lincoln's close enough. It's home. My background is not real estate whatsoever. I was actually in corrections for about 10 years and moved back here. I lived in Oregon for a while. Moved back here, and a buddy of ours introduced me to Josh because they connected through real estate and said, hey, he needs some help with property management. And I'm like, why not?
Yeah,
like Josh said, it just kind of grew from there, and he took the leap and I took the leap to just bring me on full time. And like you said, that's where Good Life Lending really started to take off. So it's really exciting to see where our lending business was compared to where it is now and where it's going. So
Yeah.
it's been quite an adventure that I was not expecting, but very happy to be involved with it.
I think that's the fun part about real estate is like you start in one area and it's just easy to kind of branch out into other areas, and then you learn something else from another investor and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about doing that. So it's really cool that you can just constantly change and learn more about it. So
yeah, for sure.
I've learned a lot from you, Josh. I know that for sure.
Good. Yeah, a lot of it's just like relationships, like any business, and so
Yeah.
that's how we got connected with Dan Delgado. He was instrumental in connecting us together like 4 or 5 years ago.
Cool.
And so and then all the as you progress in any industry, like new opportunities and doors open up, and that's kind of how we ended up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the power of relationships and networking, really.
Yeah. So I know you also have a few Airbnbs that you guys manage. Do you guys want to talk about Airbnbs at all?
Yeah, so that's something me and my wife manage. I just like to say that's like her project or her business that she runs. So she has a full-time person that helps her manage all those, because it's like 14 short-term rentals, and so it's a lot to manage. But yeah, it's been fun.
She's a really great interior decorator. She makes them always look so cute.
Yeah, she's found her passion in designing and decorating them, so that's really a good outlet for her to be a little creative and get to use her skills and abilities. So it's been fun.
Are you finding that there's still like room in the market for more Airbnbs in Lincoln?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get into it thinking it's one thing, and then they kind of get burnt out because it's not what they thought. It is a lot of work, especially if you just have one. It could almost be not worth it for one, I feel like. I mean, looking back at where we started.
Well, and then you can't like mitigate your risk across all of them. If you have vacancies, it's just a lot scarier probably.
Yeah, so I see a lot of people come in and out of it actually relatively a short amount of time. So I think there's still room for it. But it's definitely not like long-term rentals. It's a completely different business.
Yeah.
And a lot of long-term landlords think that it's similar, and so they're like, oh, I'll try it. Well, it's something you can't really just try, because you have to like invest in all the furnishings and stuff,
right.
And that's like $5 to $15 grand depending. So
yeah,
it's a big investment to try something.
Right, and then there's just so much more upkeep and the turnovers, and you have to have somebody really good at
Yeah.
and dependable that will go in there and make sure they're perfect, because everyone's standards are so high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just another example of ways that you guys have branched out into other areas. So what are your guys' like ideal clients for Good Life Lending?
Yeah, you want to take this?
Oh, absolutely. From my experience with dealing with borrowers and the lending business, you have to find the right deal. You know, if it's a house that, you know, may not be exactly what, you know, what would be beneficial, what would be deemed beneficial, we may, you know, pass up on that opportunity. However, not that borrower. So there's no real borderline expectation other than they're excited, they're passionate, they're really, you know, gonna work hard and put forth the extra effort to make this home, you know, great, so they can sell it and still make a profit, all while giving us the opportunity to be those people to help them do that. So I don't know if that even answered your question or not.
So would it more be for the flipper, sort of a short-term?
Yeah, I would say
borrowing
it's more
arrangement?
for primarily our loans are to flippers because it's a short-term loan.
Yeah.
But we have seen people use our funding for transactional funding to do double closes, and then also people that want to buy rentals and then they'll refinance out, you know, maybe 6 months later with the bank. So, but mainly it's been like two people, I would say, or two clients. It's the first-time flipper that's maybe young and not lendable to a bank in a bank size. You know, they don't have the credit or the track record.
Yeah.
So it's those people we help a lot, and then other people that are already in the business but they're looking to scale.
Yeah.
So they can do 1 or 2 projects themselves, but they want to do 3 and 4, and they don't have the funds for that. So we can come alongside of them and help them scale their business.
For some of our viewers today, explain a little bit about private money lending and maybe sort of how it came to be and sort of. I think it's probably like a concept that a lot of people aren't aware of, or that there is that opportunity out there. So just kind of talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Tell me all about it.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really simple process, actually. It's just like a bank would lend you money. You know, you go to a bank and you have to give them all these documents and all these credit, you know, underwriting and stuff.
So do you go through the same amount of like financial review?
No, so that's one thing. So we offer convenience and speed, I would say. So, you know, someone would approach us and say, hey, I want a loan for this property, and then I underwrite it personally. So I look at the deal, I see if the numbers make sense, and then I kind of look at their, you know, track record, and I say yes or no, and then after I approve it, then I hand it off to her, and she kind of does all the documents behind the scenes, and then next thing we know, they're closing, and we wire the funds to title, and then they sign a couple documents to us. So we have the same documents just like a bank does. We just don't have the same underwriting guidelines as a bank does.
Yeah.
We have a little bit more discretion on who we can work with and whatnot. So.
Right.
And then don't so
require
closing,
like a W-2 income or anything like that. Okay.
No. So then at closing, they get the keys to their next project, and then they're off to the races. And so it's really simple. I probably oversimplified it, but really they just, you know, ask me for an approval or not, and I tell them yes or no, and then they have to get some insurance documents for us. But other than that, then it's just wait till closing, and then it's theirs.
Right, because all banks are going to require at least a 20% minimum investment into the property, and so you can provide that for the investor, right? So that if they're not able to quite make that 20%, if they don't have every bit of that to put down, then you guys can step in.
Yeah, so we typically fund 100% of the purchase price.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes even for some borrowers in some situations, we even do some rehab money as well. That's not always the case, but we like to try to offer it when we can.
Especially to our repeat borrowers, because that just shows that they are scaling and they do have that ability to do that. So
yeah.
And so we don't do any like the 20% down or anything. So we need to be first lien position.
Okay.
Against the property. So they couldn't use us as like a secondary lender underneath of a bank, because the bank would have their first lien position. So we're not in second lien position.
Okay. So that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Only first lien, but we will fund 100% of the purchase price typically.
And then really at the end of the day, it's most likely going to undergo some renovations at that point, right?
Yeah.
So are you looking at the purchase price or at the potential appraised value of the property?
I look at all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look to see what they're buying it for, and then what the margin is. See if there's enough room for them to, exit with a profit, sell it or refinance it.
Yeah.
So I like to tell people, like, I'm on your side. You know what I mean? Because like I want you to make as much money. So I don't get people into deals that I think are thin. So I try to help steer the newer people away from potential pitfalls they might run into, because I've been doing this a lot longer than they have.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing, is even just approaching me with potential deals. I can help you underwrite it or vet it to see if it's works or not.
Right. Evaluate, get your opinion on whether or not it's a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, the real estate market right now is crazy, right? So people are paying insane prices for stuff, and I think it's great to have somebody like you with some experience to kind of say, yeah, that's probably not going to pan out for you.
Yeah, and it's nice because we get to see all of our borrowers, performance on their projects, so we can kind of, get more insight on the numbers, maybe on what they purchased it for and what they're doing with it. So that helps as well.
Yeah. That's cool. So what are the plans for Good Life Lending as you go forward?
Yeah, we just
More
want
of
to
the
be
same?
able to help as many people as we can. I truly feel like a passion of mine is to help people, and I feel like this is, out of all the things I've done in real estate, this is like the one avenue that I really enjoy, and I feel like has really served me personally and my goals and stuff. So we just want to be able to come alongside of other investors and help them grow and scale. So
Yeah.
It's been really fun. People's journeys are just.
We have a question from the audience. We've never actually had this before.
Oh, this is so exciting, you guys.
So Wes Collins would like to know if you loan on barn-style homes or, quote, shouse-style dwellings. S-house?
Okay.
That's a different.
I don't know if he's asking about like a new construction project or an existing project, but if the numbers work on a unique project, we would look at it for sure.
Okay.
So.
And he can very easily go to Good Life Lending on Facebook. Josh has his contact information on there, so he's more than welcome to reach out and find out more information and possibly have a future connection.
Yeah, and I might be able to help navigate some of the city requirements, because if he's trying to convert something that's not a dwelling into a dwelling, there's some hoops to jump through with that. So,
Great. Thank you.
Super exciting. I've seen some really neat shouse plans, actually.
They're awesome.
They can be pretty cool.
Yeah.
This one had there was like two different sections of it, and in between it was kind of a open atrium type of area. It was really cool.
Yeah.
That's the fad nowadays. That's what people want to do, is have a little piece of property and barn style living without actually having goats and pigs and sheep in the backyard. So
I don't know what it would be like to live in one of those houses, but I want to go tour one. So if that ends up getting built, I want to go see it.
There we go.
That'd be an awesome Airbnb idea.
It would be, for sure.
Josh has a container house for one of his Airbnbs, so he's open to all ideas.
Yeah, for
sure. Okay, what else do our viewers need to know? Anything?
Gosh, I mean, we're honestly just here to help people grow. Like I was saying earlier, we took a leap. Josh took a leap on me, knowing that I had no real estate, background, and has pushed me to become the best. And that's exactly what we're here to do, is just encourage people that you don't have to have that upfront cash in your hand. We are a resource. Utilize your resources and just grow. Just become someone better than who you were the day before.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people that think about getting into real estate for like a really long time. I mean, I've known people for as long as I've owned property that are still thinking about it. Yeah, and at the end of the day, just do it. Like, if it's something that you're passionate about, you've done the learning, you've listened to the podcasts, just get out there and try it. And Josh will help you find the right deal. So, it's been fun to get to know you. I actually know your father as well, Ed Nix. He's super awesome. We went to Africa together.
I remember that.
He's very proud of you, and he likes to tell the story of you starting out with vending machines. You just have always been an entrepreneur at
that
heart.
was the first business I had.
First business. So, it was definitely in your genes and your DNA to do what you're doing today. And it would be really cool to see all the people that you're helping grow their real estate businesses and, just kind of be a sounding board for them. And it's awesome. I'm excited. And it's really cool because you guys office here at the Focus Suites with us.
Yeah. So we had the opportunity to get to know you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely fantastic and very encouraging to people that are wanting to become entrepreneurs and do things on their own. So kudos to you guys as well.
Oh, thanks.
The team is really fun.
Yeah, I was just going to say they have a ton of fun with you guys. So if you just want to come in and hang out with all of us,
we
do
take
that
advantage
too.
of that.
Well, I really appreciate you guys being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
I learned a lot about what you guys are doing, and maybe I'll need to use you on one of my deals coming up. So
there we go.
You never know. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll hope to see you next week.